Hello everyone, Jose J. Garcia with Garcia Home University here. So I got a video for y'all today and another one on repairs. Repairs difference between real estate and mobile homes. Something that it continues to be asked over and over. We get it, we understand it. One thing for sure, material keeps going up. It keeps rising. I mean, lumber now, a sheet of plywood 5 years ago, because it's a while, no doubt, of course, but you could get it for about 15, 20 bucks a sheet. Whereas now, one sheet of plywood, you're talking about 60 or plus. It just depends on the material that you get. So, no doubt the materials are rising. As with anything else, cost of living, I suppose, things go up. So, definitely keep in mind. And the best way to keep in mind and keep up with what the expenses, the prices, etc., are, like I tell every investor, student of mine, is visit your local home improvement stores and just get an idea. You may not even have to drive or travel. Just simply get on the internet and look up homedepot.com, lowes.com, whatever other home improvement store you may know of. Look it up and just kind of see the material, see what sinks are, what countertops are, cabinets, bathroom, I mean, anything you need, because you want to get an idea. See, all these numbers that you know always help you out even better. The quicker that you can tell how much it's going to take to rehab a mobile home, the faster it'll make you more productive as an investor. Now you know you can make an offer based on actual numbers and not just thoughts of, well, it may quotations take a couple grand, 3 grand, 4 grand, whatever. You can't get down to the penny, but you can get close enough to have a good idea. And that's where you want to be. Because then don't forget that after the fact, you also have the oh my gosh kind of moments. Once you do invest in the property, you invest in material, you get in there, your handyman contractors are in there digging the floor, tearing up the walls. Maybe there's additional work, additional repairs that have to happen. And if so, that's more expenses. So you keep in mind. But repairs, and that is the reason for the video. So how difficult is it to repair a mobile home than a regular site-built home? Well, it is not more difficult. It's a lot easier. When it comes to mobile home and real estate, they're both very different. Yes, they're both houses. They're both homes to somebody in a sense. But to rehab a mobile home is a lot easier because they're built very simple. Hopefully you've been into to a mobile home, but you're looking at everything as particle, everything from the floor, the walls, the ceiling. I mean, it is put together in a factory. Okay, they built these and then they travel them. So they're built in this sense also very lightweighted to as much as they can so that they can travel legally over the road. But over stick built, I mean, you're talking, a stick built home can be brick. It could be, I mean, just different things in a sense. A mobile home is going to be all material that you can basically pull in out from a home improvement store. There's nothing that you shouldn't be able to get out from there. I mean, since start getting into roofs and underneath homes and that sort of thing, foundation. But I mean, just in the sense of a simple rehab, come in, tear floors, replace some walls, some ceiling, some insulation, some electrical. Very simple, and very quickly. Think about it this way: one floor in a bedroom. Okay, think about a single wide mobile home. One bedroom. If you had to replace the entire floor on that one bedroom, you would be looking about 3.5 sheets of plywood. So add that up for one. Also in expenses. 3 sheets of plywood you lay down and you got yourself a whole new brand new floor. Granted, if you have to replace the insulation underneath the home and that sort of thing, that adds up too. Then if you decide to put carpet or vinyl, then that's another expense. But you see how easy and how simple that is versus a stick built. I don't know. Maybe they have concrete. They have different. I couldn't tell you just unless we're comparing directly with one specific home. But are the parts and supplies different? Windows, doors, etc., appliances. We don't put appliances on our properties. We stopped doing that a while back. Yes, we do rent to owns. We sell them. We offer financing, and every so often we will put a fridge, maybe a stove. It just depends on. But overall, when we were landlords, one thing about people who move out when you're a landlord, your rentals, people tend to take them with them. They'll take the fridge, the stove, whatever you put in there, and never to be found. Nobody did it. One of those kind of things. So we cut that out. We don't do appliances, but if you do, there are stores out there that refurbish them. They actually do pretty good. I've bought from a few different ones, different throughout the areas. You can send me a DM if you want some specific, possibly that I bought in those cities. I can see who I use, so I can definitely suggest on that. But those came out to working very good for years, so never did have an issue. But now, in the sense of windows, doors, etc., yes. So tubs would be addition to that. Tubs are not the same size because in a mobile home, you can't just go to a home improvement store and say, "Hey, give me that tub," and expect it to fit. If you look at the let's say a single wide bathrooms, you're going to notice that the tub, the edges are wall to wall. They're actually special sized for that mobile home. So you do have to get specifics in the sense of that. And you may even have to go to a mobile home store. They do have those mobile home stores where you can buy specifics out of that. Maybe pre-order one. You can have that. Doors are also now, the newer mobile homes that they're building, especially some of these 2015 and above. I'm seeing them, I'm noticing them. I mean, they are basically built the same as a house, as a stick built. Doors, windows, tubs. I mean, they're making them bigger for one, so that's one thing there. It's not like the similar early 90s, late 80 kind of models where the houses were smaller. These models now, they're building them much like a house. So wouldn't be a difference there. But these older mobile homes that we're talking about in difference too is, yes, the doors are smaller in these mobile homes. So you cannot, again, just go to a home improvement store and say, give me this door and expect it to fit. Now, I've made videos on how we get creative and how we fit things that come from a local home improvement store into one of our houses, one of our mobile homes, and we're able to make it fit. So you can do that. Windows is huge, and I'm going to go ahead and share this with you because that's huge, and I do not want to see you spending addition that you don't. Think about it this way. Doesn't matter what you're buying for. Anything you buy something specific for is going to cost you more. All right, let me give you an example. If I needed a piece of glass for a house versus a piece of glass for a boat, which piece of glass do you think would cost more? The boat, because it's specific, right? Now, when you think about a mobile home, in the same essence, you have a window that's broken. So now you have to go find a specific size of that window to make it fit in that mobile home. Now, unless you can go find another mobile home that you can take it out from, you're going to be buying one and or pre-ordering one to come. Well, you could be looking at a couple $100, maybe even more, just for one window. Here's a tip for you, a nugget. Okay, it's what I'm giving you. It's what I do these videos for. Try to help you out. You can actually go to Lowe's. Okay, I'm not selling for Lowe's. I'm not advertising for Lowe's, but I can tell you that Lowe's does do this. Now, I think Ace Hardware does as well. I haven't gotten it from them. Home Depot stopped doing it because once upon a time, somewhere in the beautiful land of USA, somebody went to cut a glass and they cut themselves. So Home Depot across the board said, no more. Lowe's continues to do it. So, which means if you do have a broken window, instead of trying to replace the entire frame, okay, unless the whole frame is shot, is gone, then okay, we're talking different. But if it's just the window and the frame, everything is there, you can actually measure that window exactly from corner to corner, top to bottom, top left, etc. And you go to Lowe's and you give them the exact measurements. They have plexiglass, they have glass. Do not get plexiglass. You can if you want. It's more expensive. It looks like crap, really, and it's not so much more durable. People say that. No. Okay, clean, clear window looks better glass. So you can get that, and I mean, you're talking about $20. So there's your nugget. Easy. Get you some of that Gorilla silicone, whatever you want to use for the window to seal it, to keep water out of it, and it will look just as good as new. Let's keep going. All right, in total, it's easier or more difficult. What is easier? What is more difficult? Well, like I said, mobile home. So, on average, we rehab a mobile home in about 2 weeks, tops. It could be a lot less. It could be maybe an additional week. It just depends on the amount of work that we have to do inside the mobile home. But when we're talking about coming in, and I'm talking come in, let's replace some of the flooring. It's soft. We got to replace that. Some of the installation's got to go. Walls, maybe there's some holes throughout the home. You just punched in, just stuff leaned in it, maybe just broke through. We replaced some of that with sheetrock, maybe some ceiling. It had leaks at one point. We replaced that. We resealed roof. I mean, the list goes on. We don't do a full rehab in a sense of tear all the way down to the studs and back. We have in the past, and that was more like 4 or 5 weeks. But that was an ultimate. We had to kind of do that for different reasons. The overall average of what we rehab is come in and fix what's broken, make them livable, presentable. You're talking about a couple weeks. So, I can't really think of a house that even that needed that would take that little. It's just so much different in the sense from material to, with our contractors itself. And I can make a video on these specifics too on contractor, because that's another question that keeps popping up again. Keep in mind that everything I'm talking about on these videos, I'm sure I've made videos already on. I'm probably making a duplicate right now. So if there's something I don't answer, you can probably go to my YouTube channel, and just look for other videos, and it's in there somewhere. So I try to answer everything quarterly, and some questions I see coming up over and over, and I try to send the video sometimes, but they're there. They definitely come out. So, I mean, I have contractor crews that basically do all the above. I don't like to hire one to do this, one to hire to do that. That's too messy. That's too much work. That's, and I get it. Somebody who's great at electricity may not be so great in plumbing, may not be so good at flooring. Maybe they can't even put cabinets up. I don't know. I want a team to come in and do this. I want a team that one guy focuses on electric, one guy focuses on flooring, one does ceiling, one does painting, one does basically, they got a team and they all work together. And that's what you want. If you have to hire a guy individually to do every job, one, you're not going to get the best of deal. There's no way, because every one of those jobs will be a contract. So it means you have to pay up front or however you pay directly with, but every job is one. So you come in and you have issues with electric, you have issues with the flooring and the ceiling and the walls that need to be painted. That's 5, 6 jobs. That's 5, 6 different people. There is no way that you can beat that unless you came in with a team that come in. And when a team comes in, they have it already organized. One guy says, all right, let me knock this ceiling out. We'll go ahead and straighten it out. The other one's already pulling carpet, vinyl, whatever needs to be done. The other one is painting because he doesn't care if he gets paint on the floor because obviously they're going to put new carpet or vinyl. So that's the team, and that's what you want. Keep going. What are the most common repairs and how long and how expensive are they? Flooring would probably be one of the most that we see. I mean, it just depends. No deal is the same, no investment is the same, and no rehab is the same. So, but I think overall, especially when you get into these early 90 model homes, they all have particle board that came from the factory. So over a period of time where the water was actually leaked directly onto them, or maybe even moisture from under through the insulation. I don't know. That particle board swells up. I don't understand why they use that. They continue to use it, which is even worse, and it is terrible. Once they get soaked wet, it basically falls through, and you hope that the vinyl or the carpet on top holds you up, because that's about all that is. So I think flooring overall would be, electrical has to happen something too. Ceiling can be over a period of time, but many things that can happen. It just depends. And I always say is, how does the owner take care of it? And that's what's going to make the difference. So, but I would say, I guess overall, start with flooring. What about roofs? What is a roof over? What is a roof over? I don't. It's over the home. All right, roofs. Roofs are good. Roofs are nice and awesome. But when you start getting into shingles, let's talk comparison here. And I am going longer in this video than I thought, but I like to talk. That's what I do. I coach, and I want you to get all possible information so that you can benefit. So roofs are definitely interesting. A roof can be a serious expense if you have to replace the entire roof. Now, my favorite homes are metal on metal. Okay. That's more like the 80s, early 90s, where you have the metal top, metal siding. That's easy. Even pressure washing the side, it just looks good if you pressure wash it. No need for paint. It looks good. The roof, if it does leak, it is as simple as resealing it. Get up there, pressure wash it, clean it, and they sell a bucket of 5 gallon of tar, looks like, that you get up there and you mop on that ceiling. It takes a little bit more than that, clearly, but you get up there, you do that. The bucket is about $100. A mop, $5, I don't know. And then you contractor, get up there, a couple $100 maybe, and you got a whole new roof that's been resealed. And now you're talking about 18 years minimum of good roof. So there you go, something like that. Now, if you have to replace the whole roof, let's say you have shingles instead, more of a newer, modern mobile home, and you have to replace the entire shingles. The whole roof is leaking here, there. You can't patch and band-aid everything. At one point, if you have multiple leaks throughout the house, that roof's got to be replaced, or it's got to be seriously addressed, because those issues are going to continue. So I would say that something like that, to put new roof or put maybe tint over something like that, you're talking a couple grand. So it just depends on the size of the mobile home. I cannot give you specifics, but on a single wide, 14 by 70, maybe something like that, you're talking about a couple grand, maybe 3 grand, just material and labor. So that happens. Are there times when it is easier to throw out a mobile home rather than replace it? Yes, if the mobile home has been burnt, for one. That one is huge. And I was going to make a video on something like that later. I actually saw another mobile home that got burnt. Doesn't look so bad, but it's definitely bad. Once you go in, you see some of the damages and some of the damage that's been done. It is easy to see that, yes, got to go. So, it just depends on how much. You have to be able to get in an estimate, because you have to know what the cost of moving a mobile home, period, is going to be. How much will it take to bring a mobile home from point A to point B where I'm at? Okay, that alone is an expense. Could be 2 to 5 or even more grand. So that's just transportation. That's not the cost of a new or used mobile home. Once you do bring it into the park, okay, you set it, level it, you strap it. Now you have to put the utilities, the skirting, decks, porches, whatever you decide. And are there any rehabs to be done on that one? Because if it is used in these repairs, well, once they got to going down the highway and vibration hits, you probably got more damages than you did when you first saw it. So add those in addition to, and what is your total equal? Now, if you have to rehab the one that is currently there, you don't have to worry about any expenses, because it's already there. No expenses on transportation, no expenses on setup, strapping, leveling, decks, etc. All that is there. All you have to do is rehab it and get it back up to code, livable, presentable. I'd say you're probably better off. But again, if it was burnt, if it is completely caving in, then it's probably one of those times where it's got to go. Okay, hope that helps. I do have another coaching call coming up at this time. This video went a little over than I expected, but good stuff, good questions. Definitely, whoever sent these questions, awesome. I like them. We'll keep doing more videos like this. Be sure to visit GarciaMHU.com for more coaching. Any questions, suggestions, anything you want me to address even further that was listed on this call here, email me, j@GarciaMHU.com. Till next time, thank you for watching.